Howdy y'all, today is July 3rd. It actually just ticked over to July 4th though. It's a little past midnight. I was out here earlier today doing a bunch of stuff and noticed one of my coop doors. I'd noticed in the past couple of days it wasn't wanting to go up all the time or down all the time. And then today it just completely died. So I took it in the barn. It's been charging for 6 hours now. So I'm gonna get this back on. I've tested it, it does work fine now. So should be good to go for tomorrow on that. Also my bees, I put the swarm trap back just on the ground with a frame, and I was gonna move them earlier today, but there were a ton of bees around. So I figured I had to come back for this door anyway. So I'm gonna move the rest of those bees over into that little new swarm. Also earlier today I did get the misting fans going. Those things are really nice. I marked it on a bucket just to see how long time-wise a bucket would last just full of water. And those fans suck the water down. I think with using the battery on the fan, you could probably go through 3 buckets of water on one battery. It's amazing how much water they put out. Unfortunately, this fan over here only works on high, not on low, and neither of the mist settings work, but it at least works as a fan at the moment. But I've got 2 fans on both these coops. These are the ones I'm mostly worried about, just with the heat, because they're in the plastic. They were fine today, which is great, but I do leave the fans on overnight, and then they wake up and they can get nice and cool as well. Interesting development on that little swarm yesterday. There's no bees in the hive, but there were tons of bees still around that swarm trap earlier today. So a quick Google search said scout bees will sometimes stay overnight with a few bees in their new location without the rest of the colony yet, or the swarm. So maybe that's what happened. I'm leaving the swarm trap out there to see if they, everyone else decides to join in. I don't know what's going on there. Kind of weird, because there was definitely a full frame and half of bees, at least full frame. And then today there was a lot of activity, so I'm not going to count it out just yet. So I'll leave the swarm trap out, but yeah, as far as a hive, no bees. Howdy y'all, happy 4th of July again. So remember where I left off last night? There were no bees in my beehive, no bees in the swarm trap, but yet there was a lot of interest in that swarm trap yesterday. Well, my neighbor just sent me a video. Just got the go-ahead from my neighbor, so let's go try and catch some bees. I couldn't quite tell from the picture what tree they were in, but I know he was facing that way. The bees were also pretty active too in that video, so maybe they were getting ready to move. I don't want to just walk all over his property. As a reference, they are way up. Can't even point to it on there very good. Right there. So they're pretty high up there. It's a pretty good sized swarm though. Got me crazy, but the tallest thing I have that's movable is my car. I was actually just on top of my car with the ladder. It feels solid. I climbed up the ladder. It feels good. Well, y'all aren't gonna believe this. 30 minutes from when I was over here last looking at them, the bees are gone. They're not up there anymore. You can see there's a couple straggler bees, and there's probably a little bit of wax on the tree where they were hanging out, but gone. Bummer. But maybe that means they're in my swarm trap now. I have not looked at that yet. You just never know how long a swarm can be there. It can be as quick as a half hour, it could be long as a few days. So I'm really hoping, since they had a couple nice options over here, that they just saw it, found it, and they took up residence. So fingers crossed. Unfortunately, no action over here. I'm gonna look around for them, but who knows where they went. Well, I am super bummed about that, y'all. I'm kind of looking around to see if I see them anywhere along the wood line in trees. I mean, I found them in horseradish earlier this year, so I'm just kind of walking my property. I walked my neighbors a little bit. I didn't want to walk around too much. He's not over there. But yeah, it's hard when you actually see them and then they're just gone. That I wish I just never even saw them and I would have been okay. That is a huge bummer. So I don't know if it was one of my hives. I mean, it's a good chance it could be, but a swarm will go, you know, anywhere from a mile and a half. So they could be long gone by now, but it's worth a shot to at least kind of look around a little bit. Maybe hear them because they're not quite settled yet. I don't know. That's like $200 just flew away, 200 plus, because if you're able to get them through winter and get honey out of them, you know, consecutive years, that's a lot of money. So yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to expand on the hives, but they're just running off. All right, bees, which one of y'all swarmed on me? Why do you gotta be like that? That is something that happens though when you have really strong hives. They can swarm multiple times. Honestly, I don't even know if it was from my hives, whether it's that tiny one there, either of these two. I'm pretty sure both of these already swarmed once when I was in Florida. I wouldn't imagine this one, but I mean, it's a possibility. But yeah, strong, healthy hives can swarm multiple times throughout the season. And I mean, it's a good thing because it means they are strong. But it's a bad thing because you lose half of your bees generally when that happens. And then they just rebuild up, and then once they get to their max, they'll split it again. So that's just the overarching picture of how bees reproduce. But yeah, it could have been from someone else's hives, not mine. But considering, you know, the hive there to the tree right, which one was it? It was right in there. That seems pretty obvious because it's kind of a straight shot over, but who knows? It could be somewhere else. This large hive is the one that flew in my barn last year from somewhere. Don't know where. I know just south of my property, someone has a few hives, and even a little further south of that, there's a huge bee yard. And considering they'll travel, you know, mile and a half, maybe even 2, that's a possibility that I've been getting some action from there, and that swarm could have been from them as well. But I'll probably do another loop around the property and check a few other places, maybe walk back over the neighbors, but so far I'm thinking they're probably just gone. I'm thinking if I didn't mess with that swarm trap the other day, I might have been able to catch him. I don't know what bees those were, whether they were scouts or what was going on there, but it's always in the back of your mind, what if? I'm gonna walk over to my neighbors one more time to see if I see them anywhere, but I just don't think they're gonna be over there. Seeing as there's still a few stragglers hanging around, I was hoping maybe they would know where to go and I could kind of follow them, but I think they're all just about as lost as me. Well, I'm gonna give up on that swarm. There's nothing I can do since I can't find them anyway. And I think I'll go ahead and get in my hives. It's not blazing hot yet, but it's definitely toasty. It's still kind of the morning hours. I think it's 11:30. I don't really know. I haven't looked in a little while, but yeah, bummer on that, but we'll just move on with the day. If I were to dig through the hives, I would definitely be able to tell if any of them swarmed. That's not necessarily my goal. I just want to check and see if there's honey on the tops of these guys, and then I also want to see if this one needs another box. This is a very gentle hive of bees here. So these are the ones where I combined 2 swarms and gave them a frame of eggs. They definitely raised a queen. We have a really nice laying pattern here. If you look inside some of these cells, you'll see larvae, the capped over, probably some eggs on here. I haven't seen the queen yet, but these guys are not ready for another box. They're doing just fine. That hive was textbook quality. Had a really great brood laying pattern. Really docile. I could have been out here in shorts, t-shirt, and flip-flops. Wouldn't have fazed me. They're very gentle. That is the perfect hive right there. They're still kind of small, but they're definitely filling things out. And with all the brood that's about to hatch, more baby bees, that hive's going to be getting a little more heavily crowded in there. But I did see the queen. She looks beautiful. She's doing a great job in there, so I'm happy with how that hive's progressing. Now, on these larger ones, I would like to hop in and see what honey's looking like. Howdy y'all, today is July 7th. I started the day off by running to the feed barn to pick up some food, also some more calcium and some chick food. So I'm still not buying pig food just yet at this point. They're just eating what the meat birds are eating because they just don't eat that much right now. So probably here in the next month I'll actually start ordering their own pig food, but for now they're still tiny. Also, the feed barn was handing out shirts and discounts, which was nice. So that's pretty cool. So I got $12.50 off, which basically paid for the oyster shells. But I've got all the little guys done in the coops here. It's really nice that the chickens are this close. So I'm about to run them out some food and water and knock out chores. The pigs are actually 2 months old today. I did go to the feed barn, so I like marking down how many bags of feed I got. I got 10 bags for the layers, 1 bag for the meat birds and pigs. Now that the pigs are 2 months though, they will start going through food a little faster. So 2 months, 2 pounds a piece, 3 pigs, that's 6 pounds a day. So they're getting up there about going through bag every time I go to the feed barn. So I'm a little behind. I still have to put some eggs in the carton from the other day, but they're in the bucket here. As far as feed, this is the one that I've been feeding them. It's really just a protein difference. So you can see 21% there, 0 to 2 weeks. And then here, this one's 2 to 5 weeks. So you can see that's a little less protein. Basically, you just want to pump them full of protein when they're younger. As they get older, they don't need as much. So I'm switching them over to this. It's the Cornish cross. Also did just turn, what was that, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks on Thursday. You like your new ration there, piggies? They always get some eggs. Cracked ones, some that just don't make the cut. But they're enjoying that. They're actually really friendly. The smaller one is probably the most skittish, but overall they're pretty good. I made them a mud puddle the other day. Well, last week when it was extremely hot. I just ran the hose in there for 10 minutes and they loved it. It's drying up a little bit, so I'll probably get some from that bucket, put it over there, refill it. But I did move their back line so they can go all the way. See the handles there, so they have basically 2 more fence worth of space, and it looks really nice in there, so I think they're really gonna enjoy it. They tend to just hang along the wood line because it's usually a little more damp in the soil, and that's what they like, rooting up real hard. So I probably won't leave them in there too terribly long, just so that doesn't get completely worn out. But I usually use that as their path anyway as they start going down the line. You can see from the past batch pigs here that the old path is really weedy compared to everything else, because this usually does just wear down to a dirt path. But I like keeping as much nice for them as I can. Looking out there, you would never know I had 250 chickens, about 50 birds in each coop. That's not including the meat bird coop, but just as far as the ones that are out running around, I have 250. Then another 30 in the meat bird coop, so close to 300 out there. But it's hot, so they're hiding in the shade. Can't say as I blame them, but it honestly doesn't feel that bad out today. All right, y'all, let's grab some honey. I'm all set up here. I'm gonna put the honey in here, at least the frames. Get suited up here in just a second. But when I was in the hives the other day, I did put a second super on this hive. So I put the empty one down here and kept the full one up top. So I'm hoping the bees are not too interested in this because it's mostly done and they've moved down here, so it'll be a little easier. But who knows, my luck, they probably started taking all this honey and moving it down, but just have to get in and see. Overall, went really well. I have them all in the cooler here. Still a few bees in the cooler on the frame, so I'll probably work to get them off. I have a few angry bees that kind of followed me over. But other than that, all good. The honey's super. That cooler with all the honey is very heavy. It was a long walk. Yeah, the bees will cool off here in a little bit. I think I got a light sting right on my left arm where my glove meets the suit there. Probably pinched one a little bit, but not too bad. So I did get a little sting on my arm. It's all red. It's not real bad. Luckily, I had enough material where that stinger didn't actually get stuck in my skin. It was just stuck in the bee suit, but I still felt it. So I have some bentonite clay on it. I had a customer bring me this last year, and it worked really well. I used it for a sting last year because the stings I've been getting have slowly been getting worse, I feel like. Usually the first one of the season is not bad, but progressively it seems like it gets worse, and I know that is a thing. So this thing worked wonders last time, so I'm gonna use it again. It doesn't look too bad. You can definitely tell something happened, but it's not swelling real bad. Like I said, it wasn't a full-on sting, but I could definitely tell I got bit. Let's go check on the pigs and see how they're liking this new section of grass. Looks like they're over there. Hey piggies, what do you guys think? Oh, you running over for attention? Yeah, you're the real friendly one. Don't get shocked, please. And yeah, you guys are so cute. Don't touch the fence, please. Don't. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave. You guys are gonna touch it and I'm gonna feel bad. I'll come in and pet you. Give me a second. All right, piggies, I'm coming. I don't have the brush though. I'm gonna go out in your new grassy area. And come this way. Oh, so excited. How you doing, piggies? You are just too excited. You gotta run around. Gotta run around. Oh, that feels so good. You guys are so muddy. Yes, you're so muddy. Look at that nose. Yeah, it's my big friendly pig right here. Loves attention. Yeah, you want pets too, I know. This is my squirrely pig, but even she's getting friendly. No, y'all aren't gonna bite on my shoes. It's your turn. You needed some more. I only got one hand. I gotta hold the phone. Luckily this bee sting didn't do anything. I'm about to wash this off and see what it looks like, but it feels pretty good. I don't think I've used the words give up on the garden yet this year. I don't plan on it. However, it just is what it is at this point. So at least things are in the ground and things are growing, but once you get behind, it's a lot of work to get it back to where it was and should be. It never really was great this year just because I had a lot of things going on this spring, but I did finish ripping up the mulch on this path because it was getting kind of weedy. I just put a really thin layer of mulch on last year, so I'm going to go through and get some thicker mulch on it, and then when I finished that row I started coming down here to do some weeding on the beans, and you can easily tell right where I stopped. So we're just going to take it a row at a time. It's definitely not a model garden like it was last year, but hey, things are going. I mean, look at these onions. These are looking good. Not all of them are this big, but these are all really good sized onions in here, at least on the first row. But a lot of good ones. The windstorm that came through blew a lot of them over, so some are kind of lifting back up. They're not as bad as what they were, but it is what it is. You can tell something happened there, but there's really no swelling. I have full range of motion. It doesn't hurt, so I'm counting that as a win. That bentonite clay does wonders. But also the hive was pretty good about it. It was the left hive that I took the honey from. They still have a honey super in there that they're working on. This other hive here, they were ready for another honey super, but the hive was already tall enough that if I added another box on, it would be really hard to work with. So I'll do that one next, and we'll get a honey super back on it. Actually, this whole wooden box there between the white ones is full of honey. I'm undecided on what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to leave that for the bees or harvest that, or potentially even give it to that smaller colony. I did have a little bit of honey drip into that cooler when I was putting the frames in there, so I'm leaving that for the bees to clean up. I'm surprised they didn't clean it up today, but it was kind of late in the day when I grabbed honey anyway. But all in all, a good day. Work is never done, but get a little work done every day and go to sleep feeling accomplished. Howdy y'all, today is July 8th. I'm about to get some honey. Ooh, these frames are heavy and looking good, and the smell is incredible. Believe it or not, it actually smells chocolatey, so I'm extremely excited to test this out and see what it looks like. But all these are pretty thick and heavy, so we'll get into it. I'm just waiting on the knife over here to heat up, and then I'll slice that cap off of the honey here. And then we'll throw it in this, spin the honey out, and sift it out and bottle it. Isn't that beautiful? Peeled off beautifully, smells so good, looks so good. Now the fun part, the frames are in there. We're gonna spin it out, it'll fling it out on the sides, and we'll get our honey. That's the end of our first spin. We will spin 4 times. So now what we're going to do is flip the frames around. So here's one. No more honey inside those cells, all empty. And then this side still full of honey. So we're just gonna flip them around and spin them. That is pretty good looking down there. My bee sting just feels and kind of looks like a mosquito bite. It itches, but other than that, that is good. I'm out here trying to set up a nice little promo shot to announce the honey is finally ready, and I just have one. He just found me again. There's one angry bee that is not leaving me alone. I'm not even that close to the hives. This is the 3rd time he's found me, and he is not having it. So I just went ahead and put the bee suit on so I don't have to worry about him, because he is all over me, and I don't think he'd sting me, but he's not real happy about it. I mean, I guess the hives are right there, but I'm on the back side. I don't know why, he's just in a bad mood today. I'm just trying to sit in here and cool off, and there is one bee that I think it's the same one from yesterday, because he is just after me. He is all in my face. He's gone for the time being, but he found me doing chores out there, and he's just been all over me ever since. So I can't believe he actually left me alone just now. He'll be back. Just finished chores, and my little bee friend is back. He is all interested in being up around my face. I don't know why, but I don't want to get stung on my face or my neck. Ooh, he just landed on my arm. He's up around my face again. So just to be safe, I don't think he's gonna try anything, but just put this on, because sometimes that buzzing noise sounds like a fly, and I'll flick it off and I might make him mad. But I don't know why he's into it. I mean, I did just drink a Gatorade, so maybe he smells that and it's kind of sweet, but I don't know. But anyway, today is July 9th. I'm probably asking for it going over here. I might find my bee friend again. I actually only need to turn the water on, but I was curious to see what's going on over here. Looks like a few bees have not quite made it. They're just drowning the honey. Mostly flies. I just can't believe they're not swarming this. That's just crazy. So they're not interested, so I'll just pick it up and I'll clean the wax and use it for other things. But the hives are definitely busy, so I don't know why they wouldn't want all that honey just sitting there, especially that small little hive. You think they'd be all over it. But howdy y'all, today is July 10th. I'm out in the garden picking stuff, and there's a pepper. It looked kind of like banana pepper, but it also could have been my datil peppers, which I've never grown before. Well, they were definitely the datil, the very spicy peppers. And it's pretty spicy. It's the only thing I have that's kind of helping. But they're good and hot. I ate a red one. There's a lot of green ones. I'll have to do a little research on it real quick, see if green is spicy, but I'm not going to try it. But just so I know for tomorrow. So I do have a lot of those, which is pretty cool. Well, y'all, I recovered from my hot pepper, only to go back in the garden for maybe 5 minutes, and my little bee friend from the other day found me. He was all in my face again, so I got up and was gonna go ahead in the barn just to grab my bee suit because he was driving me crazy, all in my face. And he just decided he was gonna go in for me, so he got me on the arm. Oh, I can't really tell. It just kind of lit my whole arm up, so it really burns. Good news is my little friend is now dead, so man, this burns, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. Oh, so I really hope this bentonite clay will help out, because this is my right arm and I have a lot of stuff to do. So we'll see. I'll probably take it easy here for a little bit and hope this doesn't swell up. Oh no, there's another bee. Maybe it was a fly. You can see it's already kind of red. Oh, what a mean little bee. But anyways, I feel like I might go ahead and start packing up just in case this does swell up and get really bad, because it was a pretty good hit. And I have my tent set up there. Oh man, that burns. I need to go put a little bit more on there. It just is intensifying. It feels pretty good sitting here in front of the fan, especially with that wet clay on the arm. Feels pretty good. So I'm really hoping that doesn't swell up too bad. Just not my day. I've been in the garden for all of 5 minutes. The first 2 minutes there was a tick crawling across my hand, so he didn't bite me or anything, so I killed him. And then a couple minutes later the bee, so just not meant to be out there. And the hot pepper, a little bit of everything. Ugh. It doesn't look bad, but man, I feel it. Back in the garden, I went for a little ice cream break. My arm is feeling okay-ish, so I haven't really put it down too much. It's the furthest down I've had it in a while, but I still have a lot of work to do out here, so I'm gonna get on it. Definitely swollen. Oh, I'm gonna put a little bit more bentonite clay on it, but honestly, it could have been a lot worse. He could have actually got me in my face or my neck or somewhere a little more vital to breathing and living, so I guess I got off easy with my arm.